Hey, you guys. Yeah, I'm not doing a podcast weird at all. Usually I can do, but yeah, I'm gonna just kind of ride my bike. Well, actually, I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting at home, but I'm about to just interview a person who really actually do that, and it has a lot of experience about riding a bike and all this. So I just gonna introduce her. She's from Romania. She lives in Cali, in California, LA, and her name is Georgeta. How you doing? It's a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What a strange way because you're from Romania. You live in the States. I'm from Mexico, and it turns out that English is becoming our universal language because that's what it is. And I'm glad to have you here because have a lot of topics to discuss about it. And again, once again, I'm so glad. I'm excited to have you right here on my show.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm from originally, but I came here when I was 18, and I already knew the language a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got better, and now I can speak Spanish too. But yeah, I can see how in Mexico too, everybody has to speak English now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, definitely it's not mandatory, but at the time it becomes like that. Somehow you can just learn in rather English or French or whatever language you want to. But having said that, and now this cultural exchange that we are having right now, well, we have to begin with what's really most important, which is cycling. Um, I think it's for me having the opportunity when I was a young kid. Well, I'm still young. We're young. But I get in love into just riding a bike, but I was not into. And honestly, you might say, "Whoa, hey, it's hard for me to say that." No, but honestly, I'm just trying to be honest with you. But I wasn't that good, so I went to soccer, I went to baseball. But riding a bike, it was for me like having a stress relief. So in that matter, I think I was cool with that. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of how this cycling experience got to your life? And how was it for you? I mean, that first time that you ride a bike.
Yeah, I think I started when I was a kid. We always had bicycles in Romania. We just used it like to have fun with my two older brothers. We would just ride around, sometimes ride to the store and come back home, like pick up groceries. And then when I came to US, when I was 18, I
Yeah.
always had a bicycle to commute because I wasn't able to drive. So I was riding a bike everywhere to work, and same thing, and it was always so much fun. You already know, like the wind in your hair, everything you see
Yeah.
is so different than driving a car. And when I lived in New York, like around
Oh.
2016, and I had a lot of fun there, and I was riding a lot, and I met people that were bike racers, and they would
Oh.
tell me to join them on rides, but they always went so fast, I was never able to keep up. So
Yeah.
I didn't have kids shoes, and I said like I can't, until one day I had a bike crash, and actually my bike accident lead out to buying a new bicycle that was a
Okay.
race. And my first bike race, officially bike race, was in California. I moved here and I started racing at the velodrome.
Oh,
And
that's good.
yeah,
And now you mentioned New York. Well, New York is kind of weird because this is like a lot. It's a noisy city, but then you have all this. I mean, people who like to just go and ride a bike. You got the subway, all that stuff, but then you have this culture in terms of I just want to kind of chill and all that in Central Park. But how? Well, that's good. I mean, it's kind of impressive how things are sometimes in our life because even though you have a that accident, it turns out to be the best thing in your life by now because it become part of you yourself, and it all starts with a passion or a simple event that comes to what we are right now. Um,
yeah,
and that's great. I mean, that's great because sometimes accidents it turns out to be the best thing in your life. And I
yeah.
can speak about myself. It's not about of course, not my interview. I'm going to share with you this very quickly. I used to have, I went to an ACL on my right knee when I was playing soccer. And I swear to God that I was never intend to play again. But then I just, I went to play, and I'm still not playing anymore as often as I would like to. But the main point here is the main reason of what I'm just trying to share with you is that I still keep fighting, I still grinding, and that's what it's all about. It's not how you just get down on the floor and I say, oh, I'm gonna surrender. I'm done. But that's the will. Just continue, go on, go on. That's what I can tell, I can see about you, and I just just want to say that's great for you. That's great.
Yeah. And
That's it.
then when I started racing bikes, it became an addiction. In Los Angeles and in California in general, cycling
Yeah,
culture is, and
it's huge.
bike racing, race bikes like throughout the year, every single weekend. In the winter when we stop, we just show up to the group rides and there's always 20, 30, 40 people willing to go fast and,
Yeah.
train hard. So it's great.
Yeah, but always you have to keep training, keep preparing yourself because in the end, you're looking for your best version at the track. You're not just standing by and say, well, maybe it's gonna be my chance tomorrow or somewhere along my life. But I think coming back to cycling in general, I think generally speaking, I think there's a connection that probably not the sports individual sport has, which is you can not rely on anyone else than you, and this is something that really got my attention and now the past days because you have tennis players, you have the cycling, who are just competing, but you can train with a lot of people, but at the end you just are you against you, and that's I think that's the biggest challenge. That's what I think. I don't know if you have feeling that part.
It's true. That's very true, and I think it's a very hard sport, but it's a lot of mental challenge too.
Yeah.
Especially you have to train every single day, and you have to be there all the time. Like it makes you strong, not just physically but mentally too. Yeah.
So, going on with the rest of tournaments that you might have, what is next for Georgeta? What is next? Because I know we got clear. We have been discussing about how important it is to have this mental strength, how you become a cycling, how was everything. But now, in the present time, how is Georgeta in terms of sporting competitions? What is coming next for you?
Well, 2020 has been a little bit challenging for all of us.
Of course.
World, because all of our racing got canceled in California, and it's still not on. We're not 100% sure if next year will happen. They talk about late March, but it's not 100% sure. My biggest goal is to go to Romania to race nationals, both road and track. They usually have it in the summer there. I couldn't travel this year because of COVID. We were not allowed to leave. And if I would have gone, I was not able to come back to US. So it's been very hard. But I think next summer I'm going to be there for nationals. And then usually track nationals happen also around September. And I'm excited for that. I think that's like my biggest goal right now. And from there on, like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be patient. We have to wait for what the future holds. But in the meantime, I know you were preparing. You were just giving your best, and I wish you the best, of course, because this conversation is probably nothing that compared to what you're doing. But if compared to nothing, what I would just try to do and try to share out the people, the audience, what you're doing right now is, I think, is the biggest effort that we are just accomplished right now, Georgeta.
Yeah, thanks.
And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your experiences. And lastly, not less important, what would be your social media that people can follow you, can just reach you every time that they have doubts about cycling, about what it really takes to be at this position as you are?
Yeah, you can follow me at Georgeta. That's just George with a TA in the end, 007. And also, I'm part of Sisterhood of Cycling. It's a small team based here in Los Angeles. A lot of women on bikes. We're like women-only team and club. So you can follow us there as well. And if you have any questions, you can reach out for sure.
Okay, thank you. Best regards to LA. That's a beautiful city, as a matter of fact.
Thanks.